Welcome to the Home Organizing for Beginners podcast. If you're looking for the same old in how to get organized and stay organized, this is definitely not the podcast for you. But if you're looking to actually make it happen by doing something different than what you've done before or what society tells you, then you are definitely in the right place. In this podcast, you'll get tangible and simple instructions about home organizing, cleaning, and time management because they all really go hand in hand, right? Instructions that are going to keep you, your family, and your current season of life at the core so that you can finally feel like you have it all together and have it all under control. I'm your host, Tammy. In today's episode, we're going to dive deep into how to keep the organized spaces organized because who wants to spend time organizing a space only to have to organize it again and over again and over again? I'm sure you have had that experience where you've gotten an area organized and it just becomes a mess within short order. I know for me, when my kids were little, they were maybe, 5, 4, and 2. The entryway where we come in from our garage was always a mess. And I would organize it and it would look so spectacular, literally for one day. And it was so discouraging. And I don't want you to be discouraged, but I do want you to know and realize that this is very common. And much of the information we get out on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or whatever the case may be, we get this information of make it look nice. You're going to feel better when the area that you're organizing looks really nice. But I am here to tell you that in order to keep it looking nice, you have to do a lot more than just put things in place one time. Because as you know, you're going to end up doing this over and over and over and over again. And that's not how you want to spend your time. You want to be able to spend your time doing things you enjoy and love. You want to be able to spend your time with your kids, playing games. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I always struggled when the kids were little and they wanted to play games. My focus was, well, I didn't have focus. I just didn't have focus when we were playing games. I do really wish I would have, but this was part of the problem. I felt like the laundry was calling my name, the dishes, and I needed to do this and I needed to do that. And that's just the cultural stigma that we have lived with. So going back to my entryway, when I would organize it, there was this main thing I was forgetting to do. And here I am going to share with you the 3 things that you really want to do, the 3 home organizing tips that really will change the way you get organized and stay organized. Okay, so the 3 tips: focus on the function of your home, focus on the function of whatever area you are organizing. That is what I didn't do when we would be coming in from the garage and when I was organizing my entryway. The second home organizing tip: what are your expectations of this space once you organize it? If you don't even know what you're expecting after the fact, how can you keep it that way? How can you make sure that you're even taking the right actions in that area to keep it organized? And then the third thing is to share your expectations with your family. So let's dive a little bit deeper into each one of these. Focus on the function. I am hearing this more now than I did 5 or 7 years ago when my kids were much smaller. It always used to be, really make it look pretty, get these bins, and I think we're still bombarded with that kind of thing if you're out on Instagram. And personally, I am not on social media. It is very, very bad for me, mentally, emotionally, all of the things. So I just stay away from it. That is the best best thing for me. But I never focused on how our entryway was going to function. The kids were very little, but I thought, oh, it will be okay. They'll take their shoes off, they'll pick them up, they'll slide them on the little shelf that I had for them. Oh, who was I kidding? I didn't even put my own shoes on the shelf because in reality land, I'm getting home from work. I have one kid on my hip, two little kids running around my legs, begging me for something to eat. They were starving, right? That was the function of the space. We had to be able to quickly kick off our shoes, take off our coats and hang them up, and then get in the house so that we could have a snack because that was reality for us. So I did come up with a solution. I did allow us to just kick off our shoes, and really the space wasn't perfect, but that is another false thing that we see in society and in our culture and on Instagram and on YouTube and that kind of thing, where we see these perfectly curated spaces. We can have that, but we just can't live in our houses then, right? Because when we're living life every single day to the fullest, our homes are going to represent that, and that's okay. So the second thing, document what you expect. This may feel like a silly step where you're going to write down or type up what you're expecting people to do in the space that you just organized. So when I'm focusing on the function, I want to recognize the fact that the kids are going to kick off their shoes. And if they can kick them off underneath the little bench, that's perfect. That's all they need to do. Or they can kick them off and throw them into a bin. That's okay too, right? So, but I would document that. And then you're going to know even what you're expecting of yourself. You're not only setting the expectations for your family, but you're also setting expectations for yourself because in the heat of the moment, things get hard and you're not always doing those things that you set out to do. And if you don't even think about it, then you're really not going to keep that space organized, right? So the third thing, share it with your family. You're focusing on the function, you're documenting your expectations, maybe even writing up work instructions or what you expect everybody to do. And then you need to share it with them. You need to set them down and say, hey, this is what I want you to do in this space. Reminders are okay. When your kids are little, even when they're teenagers, right? They need those reminders. Sometimes I need a reminder because I can be forgetful as well. And my husband definitely needs reminders as well. So this is what I have for you today, the 3 home organizing tips that might change the way you organize your home and stay organized. Number 1, focus on the function over the fashion. Number 2, document your expectations, maybe even work instructions for yourself and your family. And then don't forget to share that information with your family. So you guys, that's what I have for you today. These tips I dive deep into in the Organizing Foundations online course that you can check out at homeorganizingforbeginners.com. I hope you feel seen, heard, cared for, and loved. I will see you back here next week for another episode.